I'm on page 14 at the bottom. We're starting the terms that will help us with trigonometry. And the first one is Pythagorean theorem. It's built in down here on page 14 at the bottom. And then we will roll into the next page. Pythagorean theorem. Let me just give you the theorem where a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That is the theorem. That's the formula. Some people call it the Pythagorean relationship or the Pythagorean formula, but I call it the Pythagorean theorem. And it is a mathematical relationship. Let's just say a formula. A formula that relates the three sides of a right triangle. It only works with right triangles. A triangle with 90 degrees. So let's draw ourselves a nice right triangle, and we will take a look at what this formula actually means. Let me hope that this will snap to, but it may not. Oh, it does. Okay, so here's the right angle. Across from the right angle, I'm going to color this side yellow. That is called hypotenuse. And that is always marked as side C. Attached to the right angle, we have a leg and another leg. So these are called the legs. They're stuck to, if this is the body of the right angle, the legs are stuck to that. So this is a leg and this is a leg. And those are A and B. You can switch them around. You can let either one of them be A, either one of them be B. I tend to call this B and this A, but it doesn't matter. You can switch A and B. You cannot switch hypotenuse. That one always has to be C. Okay, page 15. I should have put this term first, but I didn't, so we'll do it here. A right triangle is any triangle with one 90-degree angle and two acute angles. In other words, it must have the right angle. Now you can turn it. You can flip it this way, or this way, or this way, and it's still a right angle because it has that 90 degrees. You can enlarge it, you can shrink it, but it still has the 90-degree angle. So that is a right triangle. This is not a right triangle. Sorry if I made you seasick. This one has no right angles. It has all acute angles, less than 90 degrees. So this is not a right angle. This is right. What about this one? That's a small angle, and that's an obtuse angle. That's a big old angle. But none of them are right angles, so that is not a right angle. The only right triangle in this array of triangles is this one. It must have a 90-degree angle, which means the other two will always be acute little angles. A leg of a right triangle is one of two sides of a right triangle that are adjacent, meaning they touch. That word adjacent will be coming back in future lessons, to the right angle. And these are always sides A and B. And so let me draw you another right triangle. Let's go this way this time. By the way, there is no left angle. Right angle is 90 degrees, but it's not anything to do with left and right. It's based on degrees. So here is the right angle. The legs are adjacent to the right angle, meaning they adjoin it, they touch it. So this is a leg, and this is a leg. One of them would be A, one of them would be B. Doesn't really matter. Those are interchangeable. The hypotenuse. This is always side C. Hypotenuse is the side of a right triangle that is opposite or across from. Opposite will come back in future lessons as well, opposite and adjacent, to the 90-degree right angle. And here is a picture of hypotenuse. There's your right angle. Hypotenuse is across from, it's opposite that right angle. So here's hypotenuse. And there's something you need to know about hypotenuse. It is always, without exception, every single time, the longest of the three sides. I can't tell you how many times that little piece of knowledge has saved my bacon by just knowing that hypotenuse is always the longest of the three sides. Hypotenuse will always be longer than leg A or leg B.